And we are back from our mid-season, season one hiatus for the Rules of Nerdquisition. I got the name right. I got it right.
First
We are
time.
we are first time. We are talking about Space Seed. I am Gretchen, as always, joined by my unflappable first officer. How you doing,
Greetings,
Gilbert?
programs. How's everybody doing today? I am the Angry IT Nerd, and we have here today a special guest. Another special guest. We are talking Space Seed, and we are here with, oh, if you're on TikTok, you know this man. You know him. He is the all-around flaming thrower of all the flamethrowers of every flame that's to be thrown everywhere, all over TikTok.
Flamiest of the flamers.
He is the flamest throwers of the
here.
flamest throwers, and whatever nuclear attack he can drop off, he will do that. And again, he is our friend. He's our friend. He's your friend. He's everybody's friend. He is the villain, Thomas Bishop. Say hello to the people, Thomas.
Yay!
Hi, I'm here. I look more like a Khan than Ricardo Montalban. You know what I mean? How you doing? How your mom doing?
Oh, pre-show was a riot. Some of you guys, if you check us out, when you get on the Twitch, you get on the lives before the show actually starts recording. Yeah, it can be kind of a hoot.
I tend to bring chaos wherever I go.
Yeah,
that's
if
all right.
You were,
we're bringing you for a chaotic episode.
Yeah, you joined us before we started recording, then you were in for a treat. You were in for some jokes. You're in for a little bit more jokes now that we hit the record button.
I'm sorry.
We started spreading Space Seed before we even got our pants off.
Yes, listen.
We are talking Space Seed. Not that kind of seed.
Space.
Mine's out of the gutters, you all. We're talking Space Seed. Space Seed. So we open up here with the Enterprise going across, doing what the Enterprise does, and it comes across a ship.
Trying to find a place.
It's a weird ship
to park so he can spread his space.
Again,
I have a
mind out the gutter.
I have a genuine question. Do you think when they named, because I kind of think the episode Space Seed is a good name, given that it comes back later.
Yes.
What it grows into. Do you think they did it on purpose? Do you think they were like, hey,
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
30 years we're going to make this movie? And
I didn't think they planned on bringing it back for a movie. I know they definitely planned on
bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Phase Star Trek Phase 2.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, ultimately became the motion picture.
If it had been like a successful, like if that original series had been running for like 20 years, or like Gunsmoke or something.
Oh yeah.
Khan would have came back in a TV show.
If it ran the original full seasons that it was supposed to, then yeah.
I mean, Mud got more time on screen than Khan did. Khan showed up one time. Mud got it. What is the rivalry between James Kirk and Mud? If you don't get out of here, get your hustler behind up out of here. Meanwhile,
Mud was an a-hole.
He was exactly. He was, Tree Lane got I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
I do have to bring up though, as I do in every episode, as I mentioned,
you got to get your mentions out the way.
I got to get my mentions out the way. I always cover one person involved in the show as an actor or behind the scenes. That is no longer with us. The obvious choice for this episode is the dapper, suave Mexican heartthrob, Ricardo. I was not wearing a chest prosthesis. Montalban from Star Trek 2, also from Fantasy Island. They're reliant. And started his
the plane, boss, the plane.
He got his start like Mexican films, but he was in the some Planet of the Apes films of the 70s.
He was in my favorite 1970s Planet of the Apes film, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, because that's when Caesar finally had enough. It finally, like, he was done. Like, he looked at them gorillas like, beat him, and he's like, we'll beat him. Like, but I'm mad that Ricardo died early. Why? Should have let him stay.
He won an Emmy for How the West Was Won.
How? With that accent? What West? West Mexico? How did he do that? I am part of the West. I am part of how the West was born. Like, what are you, Dracula? What are you? The West of what? How did you, bruh? If somebody with Ricardo Montalban's accent had rolled up on me in the West, I'd have been like, "Am I being punked? What are we doing right now? You ain't even got a horse. Get on a white suit." Oh, snap. I'm sorry. I listen, I've just been wanting to talk about this episode for a hot minute.
Oh, you're fine. But Gilbert, go on. Please continue with your synopsis and we'll interrupt you repeatedly.
Yes. Oh, I know. So
yes,
we open up. Enterprise opens up and it comes across a weird ship. The Enterprise identifies the name of it as being the SS Botany Bay.
Botany Bay.
Hey, doesn't that ship look like the ship that the Transformers was riding in Transformers the movie?
It did.
Like,
it did kind of.
Yeah, it did.
It like what?
More than like it probably is
Recycled
where
model.
Transformers the movie got their inspiration from. So
listen.
So it's probably is that.
Let's get to the giggles because I'm telling you right now. Hey, man, I ain't saying that now.
And so Enterprise comes across it. They scan it, discover life forms on it. They beam over and then they see, a whole bunch of people that are just sleeping.
Including a woman in a box, which is what got Jim Kirk down there.
There are a bunch of women in boxes that are over there. So they're all.
If it had just been intersex human beings, Jim Kirk would have stayed up on the bridge. He'd have been like,
I'm starting to
let
think
me know if they wake up.
I'm starting to think the BSG remake stole their terminology from this. Whenever the Cylons when a model got boxed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, as soon as they told him, Captain, there's women in this box, I'll be right down. Come on, Bones, wake him up. Bones, wake that one up. That one right there. The one laying down. Well, let's wake up the other one, Jim.
And then to put the cherry on top tells them put the cherry on top tells them that these are people of perfect specimens. Like not just women in boxes.
No, not just
perfect women in boxes.
Absolutely perfect specimen, perfect look, perfect height, perfect hair.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Because
we got
32 boxes of women.
We got 32 boxes of women and they're all 10s.
Oh my God. Jim Kirk had he listened. He was ready with them torpedoes. Go to red alert. Wait a minute. They're perfect 10s? All of them?
All of them.
There's like 32 women down here. There's a couple of guys in there too. Yeah. I don't care about them. They're all perfect 10s. The women? Yeah. Listen, man them torpedoes. Get them. Go to red alert. I've never had a perfect 10. No.
Hey, you know what? Box gardening is a thing. I imagine that's something on a starship that has limited space you would have to do. So hey, get yourself a box and plant your seed.
Hey,
your space seed, that is.
But see, that's the problem. What Jim didn't realize is those perfect 10s, they're also super strong. Like
right.
Jim gonna mess around and get his space seeds crushed. Like,
you'll never plant in this soil. You never plant.
He had to be careful, unless he gets space bobbited. One of them girls chucks it out. Chucks it out the airlock.
I don't even date you humans.
Throw his ass across the room. It's my kind of woman. Now, Spock, being the logical person, Spock was like, well, I can have deep, intelligent conversations with these people. Jim just saw perfect 10s in boxes. He was like, yep, I'm over there. I'm there, dude.
I'm fairly impressed with some of Kirk's strategic maneuvers in the show, though.
I'm
the way he deals with Khan later on. But
if you
the way that he does deal with Khan,
from it, if you strip all those spaceness from it and put it with a guy with a Camaro and Camaro keys, it's the same thing. Jim Kirk, most of the stuff that Jim Kirk did when he hooked up with people and was getting into fights and stuff is just a guy that has a nice car. That's it.
Well, yeah, and generally speaking, but we'll get to the point that I'm making in a minute. We're not there yet. We're starting to. We got to wait these people up.
We're too far ahead. But
they're waiting. They're waiting for us to open the box already.
Okay,
but they're still looking around, still seeing what's going on, still catching names, still getting all the data of everything, and then one of the boxes starts stirring up. Who is it? We find out that it is. Dun, 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 the vessel automatically revives Khan Noonien Singh.
A perfect man with an name played by a man with a Spanish accent so thick you'd have to cut it with a lightsaber. That's it. Come on, man. I've been waiting to say this. Khan was rocking way too much blackface. Like Ricardo did. When Ricardo Montalban came to work to film this episode, did he tell him, "Hey, that's a little bit too much"?
So look, honestly,
why am I so
black? Like he was slathered in like sweat and baby oil.
Listen, baby
like
oil
he was
and
slathered in
blackface.
sweat and baby oil.
Baby
and
oil.
Every time you go, no, you do it because you want to do it.
Almost orange. You'd think that the toner they used was on loaner from the Trump Foundation.
He was a little bit too, you know what I mean? And then he's
probably a young man at that point, so he's probably already
he's probably like what, in his 30s.
You know, the one thing we didn't see throughout this whole episode was Khan nipples.
No, we didn't.
Got this greasy shirt. No. We saw all of this, which was without taco meat, which is okay, great. I'm fine with that. You know, I really don't want to see I don't want to see.
Well, we got to look at it like
this. Montalban's hair in the shape of a K or something. 60s. I'm cool with that.
It was in the 60s, so we got to look at it like this. But then again, no, Kirk had, you know, well, at the time, then Kirk, you know, he did go shirtless quite a few times.
Yeah, exactly. Kirk did.
But
Khan is like,
but then again, this is Khan we're talking about. So he has perfect nipples. We can't show perfect nipples. He's got the perfect V line.
Genetically perfect nipples.
He had genetically perfect nipples. He had the perfect V line.
Oh my
God.
We needed a feature film budget before we could do that.
Right?
A whole
feature
perfect film budget.
Whole feature film budget.
You can't just show perfect nipples like that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man? You can't show perfect nipples like that.
Can we also talk about the fact that Khan spent the first 5 or 10 minutes of the show choking people?
Well, see,
actually, he pulls a knife on somebody first.
Well, see, here's the thing. Well, that's when they get him back to the Enterprise, and while McCoy's making his report, he wakes up. He does this weird
Karate Kid
stretch thing to
his
wake
Karate
up.
Kid breathing technique.
Karate yoga, whatever.
Yeah, it's all weird. It's very weird.
Oh my God.
Space Pilates.
And then he
goes through his whole wake up stretching thing, and then Bones walks in. He grabs the scalpel already when he doing his old thing. Grab the scalpel.
He didn't want to pull a hammy.
Of course, he didn't want to pull a hammy. He had to stretch.
I want y'all to understand.
I'm pulling a hammy. Look here, I've been asleep for over 100 years. All right, I got to stretch first. I don't want to pull a hammy.
This is the 60s, and a grown brown man put his hands around the throat of a white dude on television. Y'all, everybody talks about the first interracial kiss on television was on Star Trek. And the first interracial choking was also on Star Trek.
But
could you imagine if Desi Arnaz choked Lucille Ball?
Yeah. But isn't this reverse interracial choking though?
Yes,
because it's okay. Right. It was okay for white people to do it to brown people up until that time. Now we got a brown man doing it to a white guy.
I know.
I think every middle-aged beaver cleaver's mom out there is freaking out at this point. Like, did that brown man just put his hands on that white man's throat?
I know Lucille Ball's office got inundated with phone calls about that episode.
Excuse me, Miss Ball. I understand you were married to Desi Arnaz, but can you explain to us why you allowed a brown man to put his hands around a good Christian white man's?
The times they were changing.
Listen, you couldn't have got away. I couldn't have got away with
that. Give Bones his credit. He took that choking and he said,
Bones got some stones. Bones got some stones.
He got some stones. He said, "Look, if you're gonna do it, it's best to go right under the ear, right here. Slice the carotid artery. It's a lot cleaner. Right. It's a lot cleaner."
That's when you knew Leonard McCoy didn't give a damn. Leonard McCoy is like,
he didn't get
just kill me.
food.
Just kill me. I'm tired of giving out antibiotics for Jim Kirk's space infused venereal disease. Just right here, buddy. Just
that
if you do it,
and stepping into the blender that everyone else calls a transporter. You know, he obviously hates.
Goodness.
Say, look, if you're gonna do it, just go right here and
just
get
right
it
here,
done.
buddy. Just get it.
He's probably
I'm tired of it.
Please do it so I don't have to ride that damn
in the name
again.
of everything that is holy, please cut my throat.
Get me out of this job.
Please,
I just
me out of my misery.
I can't transfer. They won't take me off the ship. They need a doctor. I don't want to be. Just cut my throat. Just it's like right here, buddy. Come on, man. Let's live on the edge. No, Khan was like, "What is wrong with you? I don't want to be here. Do you understand? Every week we go to shore leave, and at the end of the shore leave, here comes Jim needing something for his, he's got the drip and it's got tribbles all over it. Just cut me now."
Also got to bring up the fact that Marla McGivers is a horrible officer. How did she ever get assigned to the Enterprise?
Oh, you talking about the one that Khan ends up doing her hair?
The historian, the historian.
Yes, she's the historian. Yes, and she is a horrible officer.
You're horrible.
Absolutely.
You suck at this. You really suck at this. You just fell in love with Brown Man. Like America.
Even when she's called over to the ship on an away mission, she's all like, "I'm just going to do some painting." And then when her name comes over the PA, she's like,
"I mean,
on my way.
I gotta go do my job. Like, I gotta do with the reason I'm on the ship. I just wanted to paint all day.
I was getting ready to paint. I was getting ready to do some yoga, but
I was gonna paint.
And she's such a bad officer. She's such a bad officer that even though she was a good-looking woman, Kirk is like, what's that chick's name? McGivers, whatever. Go get her.
How do we get her on here?
Why is she here? Make her do something.
Yeah, like when did we pick her up? Like Bones, Spock? Who's responsible for her being here? Okay, she's wearing a red dress. Is she in engineering? Hey, Scotty, who is this broad? And why is she here?
I don't know. Get on the Enterprise, anyways.
I didn't even cuss a cotton. Like what? Like what?
How do you even get on here, anyways? You just stole away or something?
She'd be the sort of person that like all the people on the bridge die and she has to like shoot the photon torpedoes and the phasers. She wouldn't know what to do.
What button does it? What did?
Shut up! Just shoot something. Whole ship's about to die because of you.
And yeah, because a historian made it possible for Khan to take over the entire ship, which I have to admit at this point, it's too freaking easy to take over the Enterprise. All right,
I keep telling you.
Point, yes,
everybody's doing it.
Do y'all remember?
Instantly, it's like the first thing.
Talked about it yet? I don't know if y'all talked about Commodore during the Doomsday Machine.
No, we haven't got to that episode yet.
Never got to that.
When y'all get to that episode, just remember, a piece of dookie almost took out the Enterprise. Okay.
Yeah, look, all right.
And the nut job Commodore of another ship was like,
there's so much. There's so much that's been. Look, there's so much that has been done to take over the Enterprise.
Hey,
it's not even funny.
He did save the universe with the catheter maneuver, though.
He did.
That is true.
Did, but the thing about it is, his answer to that was sacrifice the Enterprise. It worked so well with your ship, Commodore. It really did. Your ship is working so well. Like everybody's dead on it. Wow.
Right.
I'll do the same thing. It'll work this time. Everybody takes over the Enterprise. Everybody. The Mud takes it over. The Tribbles took it over.
Yeah. And see, instantly it's
Riley took it over.
Yeah. And the first thing he does when he wakes up, he says, I want to read, but I want to read everything about the ship.
And she's like,
I want to read everything about the ship.
Listen,
I want to know everything about engineering on this ship.
Oh, that woman was in love. As soon as she saw that chest meat, it was over. We might not have seen.
No, she had no.
We might not have seen those nipples, but she saw the nipples through the shirt. Like Khan was really out there doing the ping ping. Like he was moving, making the pecs move.
She's like, "I'll give you whatever you want if you can do that again."
Why don't you give me that?
She has some kind of older man fetish or something.
Of course. I mean, she's in her mid-30s. He's over 100 years old. And she's like, he's over 100 and he looks so hot. Can you imagine their children? Like, if they actually did have some children, Number one, he's
Well,
gonna
not only
kill
that,
her.
but I mean, he's also
It's like Lois Lane having sex with Superman. He's gonna. I have
he's also
They,
like he
that's
has
interesting.
over 100
They
years of manipulation as well. So I mean,
they
he's
were on
a,
that planet for 20 years. There was not one baby made that entire time.
None. What did he
Because
say?
some people have postulated that in Star Trek 2 that Joaquin at the helmsman of the Reliant was his son, but no, Joaquin actually is named in this episode, although he looks different, obviously different actor, but the character of
Right.
Joaquin is in the episode.
So basically, Khan just spent 5 years on SETI Alpha 5 and never looked at that woman and said, "Hey, want to make some
20 years.
20 years.
20 years, yeah.
15 or 20.
Well, I mean,
whatever. It was a long time. There should have been a kid. There should have been a kid.
There should have been at least 5. At least. With Khan's superior genetic makeup, he should have been knocking out boys.
She'd be machine gun. She should have been machine gunning babies out, like boom, 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 boom,
so
boom.
It should have been, yeah.
Like as soon as he laid down, I'm telling you right now, this will be a boy. How do you know? Genetics.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised she didn't get pregnant when he touched her hair.
Right.
Oh, can we talk about that now?
We can talk about.
Khan is a conquering hero.
Of course,
also a
when
great
he starts
hairdresser.
playing with her hair, you know, you
instantly
think he's going to say, "Welcome to Fantasy Island."
Like, come on, man.
So he's up and moving around now. We're starting to learn a little bit about his character. He seems a bit shifty. I don't think we.
First and foremost, I never. Obviously, when he talks about Khan with that name, he's talking about being Kublai Khan.
It's better than Benedict Cumberbatch.
But yeah, as we kind of keep
Benedict
going on through the
Cumberbatch
episode, we find out more about Khan, you know, about what he's done, you know, who he is as kind of as a person. As we see McGivers kind of deal with him, and Kirk deal with him, and Spock deal with him, and
it's
Bones.
Yeah, because they realized
Bones
that he
deal
was
with
like,
him. And
it's
they
better
realized
than
he was like ruler of the planet, like a quarter of the planet, from Asia to the Middle East. And there is some great continuity issues with when the Eugenics Wars actually took place.
Well, they said the Eugenics Wars was in the 90s. They never said a specific time frame within the 90s. They just said the 90s.
Right, but then in later, like Strange New Worlds, they retconned
they talk about it, because
later on in the 2100s. And they just keep moving it back. It used to be that Eugenics Wars of World War III were one event. Now they're 2 separate events.
Yeah. Because after World War III, you know, the only thing left is to fight for is
my eugenics are better than your eugenics. Well, screw your eugenics, my eugenics.
And then you end up with, like, I just want to know who sat in a building and said, you know what, we need a genetic Superman. That's what we need. I don't know. Famine, disease, pestilence, feeding people, making sure things are great. Let's make us a genetic Superman. And then let's out in space because he's going to take over. Like
another retcon they did, because, you know, in Star Trek 2, when Khan meets Captain Terrell and Chekhov, and Khan goes, "But you, I never forget the face, Mr. Chekhov." When he does that,
was Chekhov even on the ship?
He wasn't on the episode, but they did retcon him. They retconned him officially to say that he was working in engineering and was not yet promoted to navigator.
Oh,
yeah.
So Khan walked right past him when he was talking to Scotty. He was like, "Oh,
that's Chekhov. I never forget a face."
Oh, you mean the guy that was like checking the gauges on the oil? Like he was making sure the forward and the cells didn't run out.
He's pulling the dipstick he's pulling the dipstick on the dilithium chamber. Like,
listen, I have met the commander. I met my captain of a.
That is good.
Yeah, I met the captain of my ship, the USS Mount Whitney. I'm sure he doesn't remember me. I was working in engineering. I worked in boiler rooms. I took gauge numbers. I know he didn't remember me. I was on a radio show on the ship, and I was like, shout out to the captain. I'm pretty sure he woke up and go, "What the hell is this telling me? Shout out to me. I don't know this guy, but you."
Well, I mean, if Khan is super intelligent and he read all the ship schematics, he could have read the roster too.
And he's gonna remember Chekhov, the guy that's 5th down.
Well,
list of people you call in case the forward and the cells are running out. Like, who?
Well, see, here's the thing. He may not know his face, but he remembers in mind. He would definitely remember the name.
I remember the name. like I never forget a face, but I did never see your face. You were too busy complaining.
I can't believe I'm stuck here checking out the forward nacelles. Why am I the
He
only
probably
one?
had grease all over his face. You
Yeah,
couldn't
like
tell who he was anyway.
he had like dipsticks and stuff in his face, and I might have walked past him and dun.
I would argue, yeah, that Khan
face.
probably wouldn't even have deemed him worthy of being remembered.
If he remembered him for anything, it would have been a time like Chekhov tried to throw a punch at him, and he like threw his ass into like sick bay from where he was standing in engineering.
Seven decks up.
Like, Bones is going, Jim, did you know that Chekhov just got up here? What, did he take the transporter? No,
it would have made more sense.
He came up from engineering up. I don't know how.
Right.
Like,
it would have made more sense if Khan walked up to him and said, I never forget a face, but what is your name?
Thank you.
Who are you?
Thank you. But
like I saw you slaving.
Let's just be honest.
Kirk is beneath me and you're beneath him, so I don't even know. I don't even want to know your name. Just shut up.
I really want y'all to understand. Ricardo Montalban in The Wrath of Khan was in his bag. That you could say what I know is the emotional toll of that movie, and it started here, but Ricardo Montalban was in his bag in The Wrath of Khan. That was just, it was Ricardo Montalban's movie featuring everybody from a Star Trek show. He was in it, and it started here. Don't get me wrong, it started here. Yes, because here he was just, I'm very subdued. I have a really thick Spanish accent with an Indian name. Okay, that's fine, great, okay. But start The Wrath of Khan, he was in his bag. He was, when he took that mask off, this is the hour 5. That whole movie was him eating ham sandwiches. The whole movie. You tell me I'm wrong. Somebody,
no, you're not wrong.
Right. No,
it's still the best movie in the series.
But still,
it absolutely, because he was eating ham sandwiches with all the mayonnaise and grape coupon he could get his hands on. Freaking Jim Shatner. I mean, William Shatner had to step his ham game up to keep up with Ricardo Montalban was in his back, and I think it's because they did not get a second chance of him being on television. He was like, they never I went to Fantasy Island. I had another TV show.
And you know how he outshone Bill Shatner, because he walked up to Bill Shatner and he said, I'm taking your Great Poupon money.
Yes.
I want it now. I want your Great Poupon, or I will drop you.
He was a ham sandwich with the best nipples on that.
Captain, I want you to listen to me. You cannot take anything from me. I will take all of your Great Poupon money. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
He got all the best speeches in the movie because he didn't get. Could you imagine if the show actually had brought him back all that from the hillside death? It would have happened on TV, and we would have blown it off as kids. We'd have been like, "Oh, wow, he was a ham sandwich." They said, "All right, now Ricardo, we understand. We were supposed to bring you back, and the show got canceled." It's like, I thought they'd move on to Fantasy Island. No. We're gonna bring you back, but it's gonna be on a movie screen. Said that part again. We're gonna put you on a movie screen. You're going to be the big bad in the second Star Trek film. I get to play
where
Khan.
I belong.
He's like, I get to play Khan? Yes.
This is where Khan belongs. Khan belongs.
Oh yeah, if his performance in Space Seed was like Buddingham on a cheap loaf of bread, store brand loaf of bread.
Great value, the great value ham you get at Walmart.
Exactly. This movie, Star Trek 2, was like, that was prime cut from the deli itself.
That was boiling,
right? Yeah, that's boar's head.
That's wild boar's head meat.
That's
fresh from the deli.
That was some buffalo chicken right there.
That man,
that's freshly sliced from the deli.
Nobody could keep up with him. Nobody. No. And mind you, he was never in the same place with Bill Shatner ever through that whole movie. Like, it is, okay, you get a chance to see the contrast. You see, Captain Kirk's horn dog behind who throws punches before he thinks, thinks. But that movie, he was letting them have it. He was like, of course.
And there will be a reason for that, which we'll get to when we get to the final confrontation in this episode.
Oh, yes. Keep going. Oh my.
So anyway,
So,
where we're at, Khan's cracking his plan, right? Right,
so
Gilbert? That's where we're at.
Khan's making up his plan. He's reading the engineering. He's making up his plan. He's getting all his people out.
He came across Riley's logs and said, so that's how you take over the Enterprise.
That's about it. Yeah, he came across Riley's logs, and then he looked back at what Mudd did, and so he's like, now I know how to take over the Enterprise.
It's like, it's easy.
An entire phaser. Like, Jim Kirk thought he was going to really shoot this man, and Khan took that phaser out of his hand and was like, Nyeh. I'm telling you, the ham level on that set. I know Gene Roddenberry had to keep saying cut because of these two dudes. Like, you had a young William Shatner, who, you know, a couple of years from TJ Hooker, but damn it, I'm gonna milk this Kirk thing. And you had Montalban, who was like,
you had a well-seasoned ego going up against an up-and-coming ego.
Oh my God!
They was button.
They were button heads. Like, I'm pretty sure a couple of them punches landed.
Doing their thing.
Potatoes.
And so Khan's doing his plan, working up his plan. He's getting all his people out. He's getting McGivers, where her dumb ass is just
Joaquin gets his shout out while everyone on the Botany Bay is doing all their Karate Kid breathing techniques.
And they're all getting their
Why did all of them people do that?
All that out.
What is all that? What is this? If y'all don't just stand up, y'all are superior people. What are you stretching for? You've been asleep for 100 years.
I'm just waiting for him to be like, break 6 slabs of ice.
Oh my God!
Okay, superior or not,
stop.
Not trying to pull a hammy.
Not to hit the chosen. Like, is that
right?
$600 kid cuts all of 6. Like, what?
But yeah, this still though, he wakes all his people up, and they also ditch their ship.
They ditch their ship, and they all hop up on the Enterprise, and then
to be found later by the Transformers,
which is crazy. You are the most superior human beings on Earth. Why does your ship look like a skyscraper sideways? It's got like floors on it. Like, how come your ship ain't got like 60?
Model builders had no imagination.
Like,
we're just gonna put them on the ship. We got to get them off the planet. They're sleeping with everybody. That Khan guy has slept with all. Do you understand? He's impregnated all of Mongolian China. He's gotta go. Like, that other guy. I don't know what his name was, but you see what he did to Central America?
It was 1996 when he was.
That's what I'm saying. 96. Oh my goodness. 1996?
Because he said,
to be fair, the space shuttle looks cooler than their spaceship does.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like, you expect the ship to just be spinning around like it's on its way to junk. Did I be stupid?
I thought the Discovery from 2001 looked better than Khan's ship.
Oh my gods.
Yeah, that is true.
Ship look like they all ship look like.
At least Discovery had a reason for looking like it did. At least this ship had no reason for looking the way it did. It's like some kid made something, slapped up, like some 3-year-old slapped a bunch of Legos together. It's like, look, Dad.
Yeah,
like,
Daddy.
Like,
give me that. Give me that. Give me that.
Oh, I like that.
Them people did not want them on the planet. They were like, look, you got enough gas to get out of this solar system. That's it. We're going to give you warp drive until you land. And then when the warp drive's over with, don't call us. They were like, you got to get out of here.
Furthermore, why weren't they just executed? I mean, in 1996, you're launching people into space in cryotubes. You're pretty much committing them to execution anyway. The chances of them having been found were remote.
But I mean, think about it.
Well, see, at the time, you
gotta
think about it like this. At the time, they probably didn't have like a death penalty, so to speak.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
Not to mention the fact
that they could do, because then you got to look at it. This is genetically wise, they probably would survive gas chambers. They would survive this.
All of it.
They probably survive it.
I mean,
so the only thing they probably
6 of them could take over a continent.
Yeah,
it would be like trying to execute Steve Rogers, Captain America, if he didn't want to get executed. Like, we're gonna kill you, Steve Rogers. Like, no, you're not. Like, yes, we are. Like,
so I mean, even if they got shot, so I mean, they probably would even if they got shot and they got knocked unconscious, they will heal. So
oh yeah, and it would have been hilarious.
Probably the only way that they could feasibly do anything would be to put them on a ship,
get them to
put them into sleep in a cryostasis and just let them, metaphorically put $20 on the shirt and and say, hey, have a nice life.
$20 with the gas on pump 4.
I mean, that's
this will get them out of the solar system. They won't come back.
Yeah.
Get them all the way to Pluto. Once they get to Pluto, they're on their own, buddy. I don't care what happens.
Right. So it's like
you get $35 worth of gas on pump 4. You mean the spaceship? Yeah, $20 worth of gas on pump 4.
Like, even V'ger would have rolled past that thing like, nah.
I know.
No, I mean, they would have been like, they would have been like that Dave Chappelle bit said, "Oh, sorry, little buddies, all full."
All full. What did they use to put them to sleep? These are super superior people. It's not like you can hit a tranquilizer gun.
It was gas. Same thing with
all they needed to do was hold it.
Same thing with Kirk got him with knockout gas.
Listen,
it's just generic knockout gas. Like,
just some old random knockout gas. Just random. Just random knockout gas.
Before we get
same way Khan got control of the Enterprise. Same way Kirk got it back. Knockout gas.
Knockout gas. Because Kirk tried it. Kirk did try to put up a fight, and
gets thrown into the decompression chamber for his efforts.
And
this is where before the knockout gas got fit, we got a fight scene.
And this is when we realized Kirk ain't got the hands we keep thinking he did when we was kids.
No, Kirk had hands, but Khan had better hands.
I'm just saying. Listen, I have no training whatsoever.
First of 2 fights between the two of them, which is funny considering they never had another fist fight in the third.
No, listen.
In that Star Trek too.
I have a little bit of army training on hand-to-hand combat. If Batman existed, I'm not trying to get into a fist fight with him. There's nothing like getting your ass whooped by a dude that walks around in a cowl. Like, you thought, because when we were kids, we thought Kirk was just
I've said it all the time. I've said it all the time. I've trained in 7 different martial arts over a decade plus. I ain't going up to Ronda Rousey and going, "What's up, B?" I'm about to get knocked out. She's
Kirk
transphobic.
Has basic,
she's
Kirk
transphobic too. She'd beat me happily twice.
Oh, she would. Kirk has basic hand-to-hand combat. Plus, he has white man swagger. And you run up on a dude named Khan who is telling you I've been around for 100 years and I'm genetically superior. And that's the guy you want to test yourself against. Kirk is lucky Khan didn't send his head in the transporter. Like, and
that's all right.
Just hold the rest of his body and just transport his head. Just get to the transporter. I'm just going to transport his head to the space. Get to the
transport his head to the surface.
We're putting it on 30 out of 5.
We didn't even mention what's that one quote when they're having that little dinner before Khan takes over, where it's like social occasions are only warfare concealed or something like that.
Yeah, Khan thinks
that's about right. Yeah,
that's probably why Khan didn't have any kids. Because if you're thinking about what is warfare and what isn't at dinner,
if it's at dinner and his kids say something,
like
what you think he's going to?
You just hear a guy going,
"You do not talk to me like that."
Yeah,
I ran a whole island,
and we also have
people's fantasies come true.
We have another instance too, just like the airplane pilot from Tomorrow Is Yesterday. We have another example of a non-Starfleet officer, a non-Starfleet anything, putting on a Star Trek uniform, Starfleet uniform.
Because ain't nobody gonna tell him otherwise.
Why didn't we tell that little
maybe
pilot?
I'm just saying maybe Spock would have been able to say something to him, but even then, in order for Spock to be able to put that Vulcan neck grip on him, he got to get close.
I'm just saying, for all the talk about stolen valor on the Tiki Talks right now, I've seen it. I've seen it twice. I've seen it twice in this show so far, just in the first half of the first season.
I tell you what, though. I can tell you what, Khan's stolen valor is a little bit different. Like, who's going, hey, man, you wearing some stuff that you didn't earn. Now come and take it off of me. Now I'm good. I just wanted to inform you.
Oh, it's not really stolen
commander
valor.
rank, and you haven't really done it.
And in his mind, it's not stolen valor. It's just mine.
Yeah,
Mine.
It's like there's stolen valor, and then there's mine.
It's mine.
Are you going to tell me otherwise? No, sir. No.
So you go ahead and tell me how that turns out. Go ahead, tell me how that turns out.
I'm gonna march right down there and I'm gonna tell Khan to get out of that damn engineer uniform.
You know what? Yes, I'm gonna go right down there and give him a piece of my mind.
Look,
we don't actually get a fight. We don't actually get a fight yet because they lock Khan up in his quarters. That's when he escapes.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
He cuts off the life support to the bridge.
Do you? Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Okay.
Yep.
If somebody told you from my room, I'm going to mess up, I'm going to screw up the life support in the bridge, that's not the guy you fight. That's the guy you beam off the ship. Hey, we're gonna send him in space. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Obviously, he don't need life support. We do, but he don't. Hey, Scotty, can you hook up the transporter to beam him right up off this ship right now? Captain, let me beam him.
I don't think they had
right now.
I don't think they had site-to-site transporting yet, though, like they do in Star Trek, like in TNG, where they can beam you from one spot to another spot without having to go to the pad first.
Well, see, even in TNG, they had to program the site-to-site.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. I would have invented it because a guy is in his room and we can't breathe upstairs. Like you are on the bridge going, what's going on? I can't breathe. It's because I am in my room and I am messing with the life support. You are 30 floors down and I'm up here choking. You gotta go. Listen, open up a book.
Pretty much did the equivalent of opening up the AC panel and rewiring it in order to control life support on the bridge. Because he read about the ship and engineering and how all the systems tie in.
I'm telling you, there's somewhere on that ship a button that if you open a little door like a fire alarm, it says in case of emergency need to take over ship, press button.
Probably.
And that's what I'm telling you. That's why Kirk wasn't ruthless enough for me. If a dude told me that he is messing with the life support system down in his room, he gotta go. You can't. There's no negotiating with that. If either one, if y'all computer started messing with your shower, that computer would be gone. You're taking a shower, and all of a sudden, damn, this water cold. Oh shit, this water hot. Why is it getting? And you hear the computer in the other room going, I am controlling your shower right now. And as soon as I dry off, you won't again. As soon as you dry off, as soon as I dry off, one of us is leaving. It ain't me. This computer got it. I'm selling that computer for pennies, biscuits, a couple of chicken sandwiches from McDonald's. You gotta go. Khan would have been gone. I'm not negotiating a planet for you.
No, but he threatens to kill Kirk if the bridge crew doesn't surrender. So
you got to be kidding me.
Kirk ends up in the decon chamber. And I gotta wonder too, because when we get the crew into this room, right, and Khan's trying to get him to join him. And they're all like, nah, we're not doing it. And they're watching Kirk being tortured on the screen and stuff. It's Joaquin that's over here beating the crap out of Uhura. Which he was kind of, that's Joaquin. And it's a little kind of weird too, because in Star Trek 2, he was more tempered as a character, a little more docile even.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think the way you see the character in the show, that he'd been on the screen looking at Uhura in the back of the room, like, you remember these hands? You remember these hands?
Hey, girl. Hey.
It's like
say so. I listen.
I dare you.
They rated E for everybody. I'm just telling you right now. You can get it too, communications officer. E for everybody.
Just look at it. Just say.
Still though, props to Uhura for not even backing down, even though she should have lost. She should have lost a few teeth.
She should have. Again, I'm telling you, Captain Kirk supposedly has like the hands of stone. Like he's like Roberto Duran of space, and he almost got his ass whooped by a dude named Khan with a Spanish accent. Everybody else in Khan's crew should have killed somebody. what a horror gonna look like? Listen, I love black girl magic just as much as the next person, but if somebody who's 100 years old that's genetically superior to me punches me, I'm going to the upper room. Like,
yeah.
And I'm we're not even talking about you, the chief of security. You are the chief of communications.
She'd have been seven decks. She'd have been 7 decks up in sickbay next to Chekhov.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Jim, why do you keep sending people up to the sick bay? Bones, we didn't do it. What are you talking about? The
what I find interesting
is in the bed next to Chekhov.
This is what I find interesting too, because now Marla, who has helped Khan in his takeover of the ship, is now going to ask to leave because she don't want to watch,
well,
Laura getting beat up.
Well, he gave her a choice, either court martial or
no, we're not there. We're not there yet.
Oh,
I'm saying she's about to betray Khan now.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
She
because,
goes,
she's taking them to the chamber.
Right.
Oh,
and
that's
Spock is supposed to go next.
I wouldn't even in the I wouldn't even have been in this situation if you hadn't betrayed me in the first place. I'd have been like, keep your love. There wouldn't have been a choice. Court martial or no, it's court martial. Whatever is about to happen, you had a piece in it. So when this is over with, you getting this work.
And I think when she gets the option, to stay with Khan or face court martial, and she stays with Khan, I can only see that as execution. Because Khan be like, yeah, you wait till we get home. You wait till we get home.
They don't age. These people are immortal. You are 30. In 20 years, nobody's going to want you because menopause is going to hit you. These people walking around here. Could you imagine that? Like, it's Batman with the Justice League. All these gods, and I've got the superior body. Well, I swim under the water with a trident. A immortal woman with a lasso and bracelets. I'm a rich guy.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter though. She gets killed by a space worm, by a space slug anyway.
Yeah, and that's exactly why she died. Everybody, I guarantee you, slug.
She's probably thinking like this. He said, all right, if I get court-martialed, I'm going to lose my pension. Can't add that.
I'm going to prison for the rest of my life.
I'm going to prison. Can't add that.
For mutiny.
Hey, it's a lot better than getting bit by a slug from an immortal guy that can't die. Like, it's like, do you understand what it took to kill this man? They had to blow up some experimental crap to make a planet to off this man. Meanwhile, you over here, you aging like a banana in the sun covered in milk. I'm going to jail. Just send me to jail.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. I get to spend at least 20 to 30 years with this hot, sexy man, but he's going to stay looking like that. And I'm going to look like Betty White. I'm going to look like Betty White if her skin molted. Or I can go to jail, get out in about 30 years, and then I could be a cat lady, at least with a job. Man, if you don't send me to prison, well, look, your man is always hot and sexy. You are aging, okay? You can get bit by a space slug and die. He over here, the space slug bit me and nothing happened. It bit the woman I've been sleeping with all this time. I don't even say I'm in love because she's dying and aging is slowly before my eyes. Like, what are you? I'm going to jail.
But yet calls her a superior woman before they get banished. But
now
it's knockout gas time because apparently the Vulcan neck punch also works on augments. Neck pinch, not neck punch. Neck pinch.
The neck punch.
The
Vulcan neck punch.
Listen, if there was a Vulcan neck punch instead of a
Vulcan chop,
it would be deadly to humans. It would just kill humans.
Spock would stay in captain's mask. Like, Spock, you did it again, didn't you? Yes, I did, Captain.
Yeah.
You mistaked the pinch for the punch, didn't you? Yes, I did, Captain.
Yeah.
It's like the secret. It's like the secret.
He no longer has vertebrae in his neck, Captain.
It's like the secret ninja technique, the dim mock, the death punch.
Not the dim
Except he calls it the dim Spock.
The dim Spock.
What?
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine him just mistaking a punch for a pinch? It's like him mistaking your taser for a weapon. Just I went to him with a Vulcan neck pinch, and now two of his vertebrae in his neck are broke. Wang!
And you got to wonder when you're talking about Spock versus the augments too, why they reverse the roles in the Kelvin timeline. Because they to see a real fight between like Kirk or between Spock and Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Spock being a Vulcan was close enough to having the physical ability. Even he was still getting beat down though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Close enough.
But he was
strong enough
to
be
British
Khan to hang with him.
Yeah, British Khan was just giving him the business. Like he
and Khan in that one when Spock did the Vulcan neck pinch, Khan was all like, nah.
He's like,
like, get off. Khan was like, did you just touch me? If you don't get your hands off of me, dude.
It's like,
Listen, Khan's elbows was giving people CTE.
It's like, your hand's cold. Get off my neck.
Get your hands off my neck, man. I don't even like your fingers. Why your hands look like that?
Now we're at the scene where there literally should have been like an Acme canister that said knockout gas.
Oh my God.
With Acme on top of it.
How much gas did these people have superior lungs? How is knockout gas putting these people to sleep?
Everybody out.
You saw Khan suck in this big breath and run out the door. Why didn't every one of those other people go and then hold their breath for 3 hours?
Oh my good, because lungs. Khan's the sort of person that could have, like, seriously, he could have given Aquaman a run for his money. I just jump in the water and I hold my breath.
I see all these dudes just beating the crap out of the Enterprise crew, holding their breath. Telling you, it's happening.
You know what? If that had happened, they send them back. Obviously, this crew of this ship is not ready for whatever else is out there. They got their behinds beat by a bunch of people that was holding their breath.
I'm telling you, there'd be one security guard. There'd be one security guard that says, "I am not surrendering." And if you don't believe me, you can hold your breath. And the augment was like, "Challenge accepted." And then proceed to beat him down.
Could you imagine if they took over the entire crew? Like they just put this knockout gas all over the place, and the Khan's crew beat up everybody on the Enterprise while holding their breath. Listen, if I was Starfleet and heard that, just blow the ship up. Just do we have auto self-destruct? Do we have it here, right here? Put the buttons in. Just put the buttons in. But there's a whole other crew. They are not worth coming back.
What happened? Well,
they all lying around.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, just somebody showed up and they just looked like this.
The warp core blew up. I don't know. We don't know what happened. The warp core.
There's so many broken people
living through that.
There's like, so many broken people littering the corridors and hallways of the Enterprise. Smashed up against walls, twisted all in funny positions.
Broken legs, kneecaps broken,
skulls crushed in.
Skulls crushed in. People walking around here with wheelchairs. And
everybody on the ship looks like Negan just walked down the hallway with Lucille and had a field day.
Right? Pull back into Earth. Any spaceport, and that story comes out. Psst, hey, you see him come in? Oh, the whole crew of the Enterprise. Oh, you mean that crew that got their whole ass whooped by some genetic modified people? The whole crew? How many people's on that ship? 35,000, and they all got beat up. Yep, everyone, even the cooks.
All of them.
Even the cooks.
We found the derelict ship that they got rid of when they stole the Enterprise, the Botany Bay, and we also found the crew on board. Really, what was it like? Pretty much like 10,000 pounds of ground beef.
That's right. That's about right.
Oh my god, the Khan jokes would have been forever. Like you go to, you have your captains and your first officers meeting with the admiral,
Admiral Terrell, and we're sitting here talking with all the captains in this region in the Enterprise. Any major butt kicking would from that point forward be referred to as getting conned.
Oh my god! Like people would make jokes. Kirk, look out! Kirk, look out! Khan's behind you.
You'd be saying it when you're threatening people, like, "Boy, if you don't give me your money, I will con your ass."
Kirk's trying to get a date. You can't even
con you into ground
modified people. Your whole crew got their ass whooped. That's why the Enterprise got beat up. Like the whole.
You can't
Spock is running going to Vulcan. Spock goes back to Vulcan and has to hear that.
Now we got Kirk, though.
Logically, you should have won this fight.
Now we got Khan runs into engineering.
Yeah, now we got Khan going into engineering
and Kirk's going to chase him down.
And Kirk is like, no, let me go and face him because I need to take my shit back.
I am the captain of
because
this ship.
I am Captain Kirk, and I'm going to get his booty.
And here's your phaser scene because they're broadcasting open strategy on the entire ship PA so that Khan can hear.
Of course. Everybody goes to the hallway left. He's going to the hallway right. You know,
the captain is on his way to engineering, so he steps to the side. And here comes your phaser scene. Kirk runs in the door, snaps that,
slaps it out, and then we into a
oh my goodness,
into one of the funniest fight scenes that is between
not Ricardo Montalban and not William Shatner.
Kirk.
Oh my, listen.
They did not even care. I think you can tell that the stunt doubles did not look anything.
We need to give the stunt doubles a shout out because whoever was Khan's stunt double was wearing blackface. Okay, I have skirted around this because we didn't want to talk about Ricardo Montalban's very luxurious tan. It's a little bit too luxurious. But that stunt double, come on, man. You racist bastard. You, sir, you are wearing blackface. You are a white man dressed up like Khan. You are wearing blackface, sir. You
and Kirk's stunt double is like Kevin Peters, right? And they're like, hey, you're going to be Kirk's stunt double. And he's like, I don't look anything like Kirk. Like, we don't care.
But I mean,
you're gonna get your ass kicked anyway. We don't even care. Just go.
And so there's
literally a scene where he's the double standing like this, looking right into the camera, and you can see it's not William Shatner.
Not Kirk.
It's like, look, you're gonna go in there for Kirk. All right, you're gonna be Shatner's double. But I'm taller and thinner.
Thinner,
faster. I have blonde hair. He's got brown hair.
He's got brown hair.
Well, look at the guy over there being Khan's.
Hair is darker.
Look at the guy trying to be Khan's stand-in. He's wearing all blackface, guy. Come on, man. Do one for the team.
Why did you rub grease on Richard's face?
Why? Hold up.
Oh
this is confusing.
What's happening? What's happening?
What is going on? Like, you got two people that don't look nothing like the people they're trying to. Like,
we get Blackface the Conqueror out here throwing not Shatner around like a rag doll.
You called him Blackface the Conqueror.
So we get Black Khan against not Kirk.
That's how I'm introducing myself tonight on the radio show. I am Blackface the Conqueror.
You calling yourself Black Khan or not Kirk?
I am Blackface the Conqueror. That's my new name. I don't care, man. I don't care.
That's awesome.
I want that.
That's awesome.
That is my listen. I want a shirt that calls me that. Blackface the Conqueror. Damn it.
We just came up with
came
up with some new Villains View merch without even realizing it.
Yes. Barbie Yaga, Blackface the Conqueror. Now we just need to make 2 more.
We need 2 more.
The whole show is just done. I swear I'm introduced, but if I don't, y'all better introduce me as such. Hey, that's Blackface the Conqueror right there, buddy. Like,
my white ass ain't gonna do it.
I know you. I was saying it's probably gonna be either gay. It's either gonna be angry or me. I'm Blackface the Conqueror.
So anyway, after not Kirk has gotten his ass kicked by Blackface the Conqueror.
Blackface the Conqueror.
After not Kirk has gotten his ass kicked by Blackface the Conqueror.
He pulls like what is that, like a caulking tube out of the console and proceeds to beat the crap.
He tore up his own ship to beat up a man that wanted to take over his ship. Like, dude,
what even was that? He pulled out like a piece of plastic.
He pulled out a thing.
A thing. Let me tell you something.
It looked like a
supply sergeant on the
USS
Enterprise.
That thing
it looked like an engineering dildo.
That thing had the that thing had the consistency of a tube extension for a vacuum cleaner. I mean, like, it'd be like me trying to beat somebody up with one of those.
Okay,
But it works. But it works.
It was an engineering dildo.
I guess we're supposed to assume that it was made out of metal or something and was fully charged, by the way.
Hey,
yeah.
And that's when they needed a special extended part of that episode where Kirk goes down to the supply sergeant of the USS Enterprise and explains to him, yeah, I went into the engineering room and I pulled something out and then he goes, what did you pull out, sir?
So what you pull out?
It was a tube. It
right here.
It looked like a space dildo. It's this piece right here.
Sir, you're killing me, Smalls.
That's
the first thing he said. You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, sir. Sir, you don't understand how much this thing cost. Let me show you here, sir. Let me show you right here.
We don't have that many space dildos, sir. Look, we only have a certain amount of space dildos.
Now somebody has to go up there and fix it, sir. Sir, I have to call this in, sir. I've got to call in the Starfleet supply office. Like, hey, yeah, it's Ensign Johnson over on the Enterprise. Yeah, the captain just pulled something off. It's this thing that looked like the space dildo. Yeah, I told him it cost him that much. Yeah,
you need part number 001833427. The space dildo.
We've arrived at the planet SETI Alpha 5, but we're doing fine. Just going to scream on by it. But somebody did something in engineering. Now the planet, now the ship is like spiraling toward its doom.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're up here dropping people off at SETI Alpha 5 like it's some big deal. Meanwhile, there's a supply guy sitting on the U.S. Enterprise talking about, we can't even go fast. Like, John, do you understand? The captain tore this thing up. Okay, if we try to hit warp 3, the ship's gonna blow up. We can't go anywhere until this thing gets fixed. And I'm charging somebody, or I'll call. Listen, I will call the head of Starfleet and let him know that Captain Kirk tore something off the ship because I was the supply sergeant, so I understand that. We see that thing going. Did you just rip that out of the wall? What are you doing, sir? It's my ship, sir. It's not your ship. It belongs to the United Federation of Planets. And I am here as the subject matter expert on logistics. What you just tore up is going to take us a week to fix. It's going to take at least 2 weeks for the part to get here. Sir, you cannot walk around tearing up this ship. Like, I should be on the bridge.
But he does it. He
black
does it
person
anyway,
should be on the bridge.
Kirk doesn't listen to nobody.
And Kirk does that, and so, yeah.
Because Kirk got that kind of money. Nobody else on the ship,
the Kirk money.
Nobody else on the ship would have tore that up.
He got the Kirk money, yeah.
He got that Kirk money. So, he got captain money. Captain money is very, very good. Ensign money, not so much. Like the chief officer, like Scotty's not going to do it because Scotty knows how much it costs.
If it was Chekhov that fought Khan, he wouldn't pull that out. If I win this, he would have found something. He would have found something. Even if I win this fight, that's coming out of my pay.
That's coming out of my paycheck because I'm charging somebody. Yeah. Hey, they need a Star Trek called Star Trek Supply. And I listen, all the times that there's hull damage and stuff like that, there's stuff on the inside getting blown out in the sky. And damn it, Starfleet needs to know how much money they're spending on these ships.
That's one
like
angry
logistic person.
That show's gonna have one angry commission officer, I'm sure.
Yes, it would be me. It would be me because I'd have to answer
some dude at the parts commissary,
a new spin-off, Starfleet Warehouse.
Oh my goodness.
I sent you 6 of these last week.
Those photon torpedoes cost 30 million a piece. We sent you guys away with 250. What do you mean one floated away? No, what happened is
we have a variance here on we have a variance on these dilithium crystals here. It says here that we're supposed to have 18 pallets. We only have 16. I'm not sure what happened. There's no paperwork to support where these other 2 went. I'm not sure what's going on.
Star Trek logistics.
Star Trek logistics.
Yeah, space, the final frontier, but not the final frontier for when you pay that money. These are the voyages of people in Starfleet that do logistics. Our forever mission is to charge people that use stuff stupidly. Like that phaser, it's coming out of Kirk's check. Like, hey, listen, the phaser that Khan bent up, Kirk's paying for that. You can't just go. What are you gonna go do? Okay, first of all, you got to take it back to the Master at Arms. You go tell the Master at Arms, hey, here's a phaser. The Master at Arms gonna go, excuse me, sir. When we gave you this phaser, it was a functioning phaser. Yeah. What happened to it? Well, Khan bent it.
I would imagine it'd be the same thing if you were in a soldier or a Marine and you go back to the Master at Arms and your M4 is twisted into a pretzel.
You listen. That armor is calling the supply sergeant.
What did you do to this thing?
Listen, that armor is calling the supply sergeant. Supply sergeant to the Master at Arms. Supply sergeant to the Master at Arms. Here we come with a clipboard and a pen. What happened?
Well, the captain said that he did sign up for the phaser. Here's the paperwork that shows that he signed for it. But Khan bent it. Is that?
Sir, is this true?
Hold on. What the
hell?
Wait. Bent it?
Lost the phaser when I tried to shoot Khan and he bent it. Sir.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. What do you mean bent it?
You mean bent, sir? You're trying to tell me a logistics person?
And I'm just over here. I'm just over here. Like, check your corners next time.
What are you doing? You let this, and that's literally.
I mean, come on,
hold on.
Come
what
on.
Do you mean?
Oh, the investigate the paperwork on
it. You know it's against Starfleet regulation 4568123 to let somebody that is not within Starfleet to hold Starfleet Starfleet material.
Oh my!
I might have just.
I don't know what I'm gonna have to do about this.
I might have just opened up the door to engineering. I might have just opened up the door to engineering and done a wide field stun right in the door. Right.
He could have. As a logistics person, I'm telling you, the paperwork, and he'd have been mad because I'm charging him with that weapon.
Sorry, Chekhov. I know you're over there on the dilithium chamber console, but you're going down, bro. You're going down, bro.
Chekhov is over there checking the dipsticks, gauges, and gets a phaser in the ass. What is this? Why did I get shot? Now I got to do a police report.
Now we got to do a police report.
Have to come in and going, who shot you? He was
Kirk does it his own way, though, and it shows that over the years he gets even more brazen about it because you get to Star Trek VI when he's on trial for the death of Chancellor Gorkon. And Shang's yelling at him like, you were demoted for following, and Kirk's just like, all sly, like, on occasion I have disobeyed orders. What of it?
See, I mean, they need a Star Trek show called Star Trek Supply.
I'm all for it.
And they need to make the process of when Chekhov or anybody else breaks some equipment, who is it that comes in that does the investigation? It could be like Law and Order SVU, but it's like Star Trek. It's like Star Trek, supply, supply unit investigations.
Like, I want to see it too. I want to see the looks on their faces. I want to see the looks on their faces, like after Star Trek: The Motion Picture, when Spock does the double-fisted smash on the console with the probe. I can see the supply clerk getting that thing, like what the hell happened to this?
The thing is, the whole show would be just like two guys that are just angry and depressed, just going starship to starship.
Listen, we drink all the Romulan
everything
ale.
Are broken.
Yeah, our late nights start like we're up all night. We're trying to get this thing done, and as soon as we're done, we go right back to our rooms drinking Romulan ale. You're not even supposed to have it. Shut up. Did you see what Spock did to that damn panel? Did you just see what Spock did to the entire panel?
He double fisted. He double fisted that into pieces.
Into bits.
Bits and pieces.
I would have been the supply sergeant up there drinking Romulan ale in front of them.
They didn't even bring the console like smashed. They brought him a box.
Yeah, like
debris in it.
Sir, you did this.
Like you gotta imagine the guy that walks up there and he sees it, and the first thing he goes is like,
let me make.
No, the best part would be like, we've got some requisitions, damaged parts and requisitions coming in for the USS Enterprise. Like, oh god,
oh my goodness. I would be on the phone with my commander every single day. Every day. Sir, they did it again. Who did it? The Enterprise. I will talk to the fleet commander. You need to tell him something, sir, because I can't keep doing this.
That would have the
I got
stress
bench phasers. I got a pile of PVC pipe that goes to the forward and the cells and the warp core, and I got a whole panel that used to be like buttons on a bridge. Sir,
that would be the equivalent of like working in a restaurant, and then you go into work one day and your boss is like, hey, upper management's come to inspect the restaurant, so you're gonna be here till like 5 a.m. cleaning.
Oh my God. I'm there with could you imagine the inspections on those ships? A whole we have our own ship. It's a supply ship that goes and inspects other ships. Our ship, everything on there is signed for. Somebody signed for everything on that ship. So you can't even break a pencil in there without it being charged to somebody. And we just pull up on different ships. Oh man, it's the Reliant. Oh God. Do you remember when
not anymore, it isn't.
Like exactly. Like, oh my goodness. The paperwork on the Reliant alone would drive the logistics people nuts.
I think we found a random nacelle floating through space. That's about all we could find.
They used an entire ship and turned it into a damn planet. Like, we gotta go on the planet to find the pieces of the ship.
Our investigation is in there, and they're like,
said the investigators go just like, oh God.
That's like yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, when David and Savick were exploring the planet, David should have looked up at a mountain and be like, does that mountain say NCC 1864? What?
Is that a backing light? Wait a minute, that's a backing light from the Reliant. That's a backing light.
What the hell is
that planet over there?
What is that red flashing thing right there?
There are torpedoes blossoming in that tree right there.
Remember when they told him not to go to the planet because it was under investigation? That was the investigation. Just trying to piece planet from ship. That's the investigation.
Kirk, you can't go to the ship. You can't go to that planet. It's under investigation.
Who's doing the investigation? Logistics, you dumb bastard. That's who. Logistics is there trying to figure out what you messed up. See, my Star Trek would be a little bit different.
It would probably be a little bit different, but now we got to get to the court martial.
Now we got to the court martial. Yes.
The little thing where he's like, ding, ding,
why did they make that man sit? Why did they make Khan sit there? Why did Khan sit there? Like, you can't court martial that man.
Why did Khan sit there? Why didn't he just look up at the 2 security guards and be like,
I ain't staying here?
You've been choking people this whole show. What's stopping you now?
The whole episode, he's been choking people left and right. And
I've been giving out choke slam sandwiches this whole episode. Makes you think I'm gonna sit here
quietly.
Why y'all? We're gonna give you a judgment. Like I'm gonna follow it. Like you better get me up off this ship.
Yeah, there shouldn't have been anything about it.
I already beat you up. I beat you up. I beat everybody up here.
How are you?
I don't even know you, and I know I can beat
all over the
you
damn place. Like it's been choke slam city all week, all throughout this whole show. And sit still for the court martial, Khan. What if you make me?
But Kirk is like, look, we on a 5-year mission. We're in deep space. I am not going back to take your ass home. So we're just gonna drop you on this planet.
Look here. All right, so
drop you on SETI Alpha 5.
I'm just telling y'all.
And hey, Marla, you want to go because you're kind of worthless.
You can go either with him or
you're kind of worthless.
Marshal.
Go to jail.
Take your pick.
Go to jail.
But either way, you ain't gonna be on my ship no more.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine a snake on SETI Alpha 5 biting her when they first get down there and she dies 6 months later. Like she has to do in this agonizing pain because of a SETI Alpha 5 snake. When you I could have just been in jail. I could have just been in jail. They had replicators. I could have had all the food that I wanted in this prison. Nah, stupid. You want to fall in love with Nipple Man.
We've actually already determined they did not have replicators at this time yet.
So they had people cooking.
No, they did not.
They had a chef on the ship. We covered the one episode where the chef was complaining to Kirk about all the meatloaf for Thanksgiving, and Kirk was like, "Just make it taste like turkey.
Just make it taste like turkey."
Yeah.
But you don't understand, sir, that we don't have any turkey. We have space turkeys, and we got to go catch them. And I'm telling you right now, sir, if you want a turkey for Thanksgiving, you're gonna go get it. Because the last time we were down there, the turkey planet.
We have meatloaf. We have meatloaf.
We got meatloaf. We got all the meat. Could you imagine them saying
just
authentic
shape it like turkey?
Yeah, like you got to go to the turkey planet. You beam down trying to hunt turkeys for Thanksgiving dinner and get your ass whooped on the turkey planet. There's a turkey Khan waiting for you. And he talks your language. If you think one of us are going to go on your ship to be baked in your little oven so that thousands of you can eat us, you're out of your mind. We give bird away from combat.
And you better hope that it's not a planet of turkeys from Thanksgiving, because you don't stuff those turkeys. They stuff you.
That's right.
I'm just glad he sat through that. Like, he sat through that whole court martial.
And he was all he's almost magnanimous about it too. And then, like, she says she's going to go with him, and he's like, a superior woman. Like,
that's a superior woman.
Like, you're gonna break her.
Harsh.
You're gonna break her one
just to fight just to find food.
You're gonna go to dinner. You're gonna watch a movie, and then you're gonna break her. What do you mean superior?
Literally. You don't understand the concept of your own strength. When you try to spread her legs, you're gonna make her do Pilates, and she didn't ask for it. Her hips is done.
Back to turkeys and wishbones.
I can't give you babies, Khan. Remember, you broke my hips 4 times.
You ripped me apart.
You can't bring my superior children into the world. And that kid is gonna be half superior human being, half regular human being. You know, you age like your mother, but your body stays strong like me. Like, what the? What? Again, she should have went to jail.
She should have probably. I imagine Starfleet jail is probably a little more comfortable than.
Yeah, it's like jail in Sweden. Like,
and the planet's not even as bad yet, because we have come to the end where they get exiled. Enterprise goes off on their merry way, only to know that sometime in the future, 6 months late from now, SETI Alpha 6 is going to explode and shift the orbit of SETI Alpha 5 and make it even worse to live on.
And can we just be dead ass honest? The entire plot of the Wrath of Khan is Kirk's fault. You couldn't have found another planet to put them people on. You put them on a planet, you didn't even do no check on them. You ain't sent a probe. You didn't send another ship.
I think I would have told Starfleet.
Email.
We dropped 72 superhumans and 1 traitor onto this planet. I think Starfleet should know, because if they're as smart as we think they are, they could build their own society and become spacefaring rather quickly.
Yes.
We would want to keep an eye on them.
What if they decided to take that ship, and because they're superior, they put warp core capabilities on it, like faster than what we normally have? They could have been gone in 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, old girl would have still been there,
right.
like, offering to knit, because she ain't superior in nothing other than being a traitor. But the rest of them, like, we keep working on the work core.
She's a historian. She's a historian on a spacefaring vessel in deep space on a 5-year mission. What's she going to do? Sit around with the kids and go, well, this one time in China in 1821. I mean, what is she going to do?
Of course she's a traitor. She's the most worthless person that's ever walked through, like, Starfleet. Could you imagine that? Could you freaking imagine that? She got a degree in history out of Starfleet. They gave her rank. They gave her a rank from Starfleet for being a historian. If you don't get your behind to a damn library, it's like.
Hey, you were in the military there, Thomas. 2 different branches, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. How many historians you work with?
None.
I asked my dad
that to talk to him if I wanted to.
I asked my dad too. He was on an aircraft carrier in Vietnam. I'm like, how many historians you all take with you? He was like, none.
Could he bust off? Because if not, we don't need him around. What do we got him here for? Imagine us going to Afghanistan.
My dad's over here. My dad's over here putting bombs on planes. Like, what do I need a historian for?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, outside of college, I mean,
like, I go to Afghanistan. There's with a combat engineer unit, they build fobs and cobs and stuff like that. Oh, we brought this historian with us. Let me tell you about the history of Afghanistan. You mean the stuff I can find with Google? If you don't stay home, you a rare D, dog. Y'all brought a historian with you, and y'all are shocked that she turns out to be a traitor. Duh, she ain't had nothing else to do. I just wanted to sit here and paint, and I wanted to journal in my diary, and I wanted to talk about my hair. They don't need me. They've got photon torpedoes.
I actually get a 2-fer on this one. Madeline Rue, born Madeline Roche, who played Marla McGivers, passed away December 16th of 2003. So they could have brought her back for Star Trek 2 if they wanted to, because that was 82, 1982.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, they're going.
No, they had to let her go.
They're going to war with Kirk and the Enterprise, and they're gonna bring the historian with them.
Nah, I think it's
die.
She
had to die.
That's one off-screen death that made sense.
Yeah,
she could
not
have survived.
Bring her on to do what? Like she gonna negotiate?
Kirk, it's the historian that you didn't want on your ship the first time,
and I still don't want you.
These guys gotten stronger. What the? If you don't get your history,
I still don't want. I still don't want you, Sulu. Fire.
Again, I want you to think about this for just a second. They brought her on the ship with her. Wait, you have no frame of reference for anything outside of history. You are as useless. You literally are as useless as an outhouse on the Enterprise. Why do we have you here?
Like, what is your knowledge of like Genghis Khan and the angry mustache model from 1930s Germany? What does that purpose does that serve us on this ship right now?
How many people have to die for her to be captain of the Enterprise? How many people do you think have
all of them?
Everyone.
Every single one of them. Everyone.
I mean, look at Battlestar Galactica. President Roslin was 73rd in line of succession.
Yes,
and she was still in the presidential cabinet. At least
she got it by accident. She got it because the rest of them couldn't fly fast.
I'm the education secretary.
No, you're the president now, lady.
I'm just saying, 73 people on the Enterprise dying before her ain't enough.
Listen, the whole ship would have to die. The entire ship would have to die for her to be captain. And by that time, somebody is calling Starfleet saying, we are dropping like flies. And the only people we got left in command is the historian.
We got a historian and 2 janitors on board. And
hey, we're gonna go to warp factor 10. We'll be there in about, I don't know, a week. Let's just try to hold on. Don't let the historian, like it would be like the rise of the Empire in Star Wars. It's like the rule of 2.
Let me get our historian real quick.
Like seriously, like dead ass. It's like, wait a minute. We're down to 5 people left. Well, and the historian's the last person in line for captainship. We need Starfleet to hurry up and send somebody out of here quickly.
It's like the historian is now the commander of the USS Enterprise,
and all of a sudden, the whole space fleet shows up.
Right?
Yeah. What the fleet admiral for that sector is like, oh hell no.
Oh hell no.
Oh man. Mobilize the fleet. Mobilize the fleet.
Listen, in the Kelvin universe, Kirk's dad would be captain longer than her and would have more of an impact. Like, your father was a Starfleet captain for 10 minutes. He saved 8,000 lives, including yours. Like, but over here, the historian became commander of the USS Enterprise.
She was captain for 3 minutes and couldn't even save her own.
She couldn't even save her damn self. She didn't know how to turn on the automatic anything.
No, she wasn't a historian. She was a historian.
Oh my God.
She was a historian.
She was a historian.
But whatever. She's like, I don't care. I don't want nice prison food. I'm gonna go live on this shithole of a rock planet. And
I mean, either way,
I'm gonna be dead. And that leads us later
he's
down
old
the
enough
road.
to be her daddy twice.
Old enough to be the great granddaddy.
He was asleep for a couple hundred years. So I mean, you weren't awake to have the maturity growth with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So really, he's the same age as he went in, even though chronologically he's a certain age. But he's still
a couple hundred years old.
He still
looks like that. Like that's a hell of a tan.
I'll tell you. But that leads us into Star Trek 2, and we're seasons away from even getting to the movies yet. So
hey, I'm coming back for that movie. I'm telling you right now. I've got to come back for that movie. I have to because again, it is Ricardo Montalban being wild boar meat for 2 hours, and the rest of the Star Trek cast trying to keep up. Listen, Paul Williams didn't have a chance. Okay, Paul Winfield did not have a chance. I'm sorry, Captain Terrell had no chance. None. Poor dude. I feel bad for him. I honestly feel bad for him.
He was a better captain. He was a better captain than Captain Esteban of the Grissom in Star Trek 3.
That's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. Here you are, Paul Winfield. You're this well-known actor. You get a chance to be in a Star Trek film. And it just so happens to be the one where Ricardo Montalban literally and figuratively goes ham on air. That whole movie was just an audition for why Star Trek should have been longer than its first season. If we'd have had a first season, we wouldn't have to have all this ham. And the rest of it, I'm coming back for that. When y'all get to that, let me know.
You're gonna make me do it again. Paul Winfield died on March 7th, 2004 in Los Angeles, California.
See?
But he was also from like Terminator fame. He was one of the police officers that tried to protect or failed to protect Sarah Connor.
The first thing I ever remember
should have held on to that one in the chamber, Gretchen.
I did not know that. Did not know he played that.
Yeah, he played Martin Luther King. That was the first. My father, who I love and I miss dearly, but my father wasn't a bright man. He wasn't. He told me that Jesse Jackson and Reggie Jackson were brothers, and I was like, Dad, I don't think that's how it works. But he also told me that Paul Winfield played Martin Luther King because he was related to Martin Luther King, and I was like, I don't think that's how that works. I don't think anything like that. Like I was like that woman.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Dad, really?
But yeah, like
that's
Paul
interesting.
Winfield
I'll have to look more into it because
pleasure.
I remembered him from Star Trek. That's when I first saw him. So I'll definitely have to look into that. He looks like
he had the unfortunate,
pretty solid career.
Yes,
pretty solid
career. And then he gets his first opportunity to be in a Star Trek film, and he lasts long enough to shoot himself with a damn phaser. And it just so happens to be the film where Ricardo Montalban, when he got the script, he's like, I'm going ham. Like, excuse me? I'm going ham. They will have to keep up with me. Like, it just, I'm serious, man.
First major film role was in the 1969 film The Lost Man with our boy Sidney. Sidney Poitier.
See what I'm saying?
Sidney Poitier.
You got a man that worked with Sidney Poitier getting beat by the guy that hung out with Hervé Villechaize. Like,
he still played it perfectly through the whole thing. They're like, one of my favorite lines is when they're scanning the planet at first.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like, maybe it's something we can transplant.
No.
And then Chekhov's like, you know what she'll say.
Listen, he would have been smarter. He would have been smarter just blowing the planet up. This looks like SETI Alpha 6. I think it's something wrong with it. We probably should blow it up. Because I don't see SETI Alpha 5, and we can't have a set of SETI Alpha twins with only one planet. Let's just kill the other one and keep it moving. Like, it would have been better off, man. You let a man put a boll weevil in your ear. I'll be back. I promise you. When y'all get to the Wrath of Khan, y'all better bring me back here.
We will definitely bring you back.
Absolutely,
you got any last minute additions to this wonderful episode? The seed has been planted. Now it just needs to grow. Helma said, "Now it nuts. Now it nuts. It needs to grow."
This is not our final thoughts. This is our debrief.
Debrief.
Yes.
Our debrief. Yes.
It is perfectly okay for you to cast an Indian actor to play Khan. I get it. I know you went from Ricardo Montalban, who is a very Spanish sounding, very Spanish actor. When J.J. Abrams says we're gonna bring back Khan, you put a white dude in it. Like, I promise you, there are some great Dev Patel. There you go. Dev Patel could have made one hell of a Khan. And his name is Dev Patel. He was in Slumdog Millionaire, for freak's sake.
No. They could do that.
You cast Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, was J.J. Abrams asleep? Like, I get Gene Roddenberry had to do it.
That was the worst.
Yeah.
So my
maybe Yul Brynner would have been. I don't even know if Yul Brynner would have been good in that part as Khan because Yul had no hair.
No.
Yeah.
But my only addition to the debrief is that I will say forever that I'm still waiting for a black Superman, an indigenous Wolverine, and a transgender Batman. But my thoughts on Cumberbatch playing Khan, come on, he's crying in a jail cell. My people, my people. I'm sorry. No, Khan
I'm telling you right now, that jail scene is the only redeemable thing about that film.
No, it is not. It's horrible. I hate that scene.
It is because I like it. I like the way Cumberbatch's speech coming out of Dev Patel's mouth would have been perfect.
Put it like this. I did not mind. All right. I didn't mind Cumberbatch being in the movie. Didn't even mind him being, a super soldier, so to speak, or genetically enhanced and all that stuff like that. The problem I had was him actually being Khan.
Yes.
If he say like if he was part of like say Khan's army and took over for Khan, I was cool. I'd be cool with that.
He's not Khan, he's Carl. My name is Carl.
Well, everyone out there in the world,
hey guys, my name is Khan. It's Khan Noonien Singh.
My name is Khan Smith. Hello, everybody.
Guys,
my name is Khan Jenkins.
It's really great being here. My name is Khan. It's short for Connor.
Connor Jenkins.
So you can call me Khan, though. It's short for Connor.
Khan Smith and Khan Jenkins. It's short for Connor.
Yeah, so
just have me back anytime y'all talk about Khan. I promise you,
I've just got to say that Khan would sacrifice every one of his people to meet his goals, and he did. And he did.
That he did, yes.
He really did.
That's all we got. That's all I've got. This has been episode 21 of the Rules of Nerdquisition. First officer, set destination for home and take us out of here.
All right. This has been a fun episode. Great having you here, Thomas, with us. And no, you're coming back.
Of course.
You're coming back.
I'm your Khan whisperer.
Because it's Khan.
Connor whisperer.
I'm your Khan whisperer.
He's the Connerer.
Get used to my face. Every time Khan comes up, I will be here. So that means Wrath of Khan, and that means Star Trek Into Darkness, where we have White Khan.
we will bring you back for sure.
So yeah, of course. Space Seed. Great episode. Featured Khan, iconic character, problematic, very problematic, very manipulative, narcissistic, with a hint and a splash of misogyny. But that's another episode for another time. And I will leave everybody this. Keep your triple spayed and neutered. Everyone, live long and prosper. Take care.
Please, man.